dill dill. Another sound get killed, duck a dill dill dill. Sign on the will, duck a dill dill dill. Another sound get killed, duck a dill dill dill. Sign on the will, them one tie, them one tie. To come at them funeral and them no say, I know say. Soundplex is a general, them one tie, them one tie. To come at them funeral and I know say, them no say. Soundplex is a general. Hear me limb by limb, we a go cut them down, send pretty oxa. Take out them tongue, hear me limb by limb, we a go cut them down, send pretty oxa. Take out them tongue, when they say we.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back to the broadcast. Welcome back with Uncle D, baby. In case you don't know, man, this is Dennis Spurling, also known as the Blizzard King. Big shout out to everybody in the chat room, Mr. 43TX. Who else we got up in here? TJ Patterson, real one. Shout out to Randy Urban, Antonio Schuler. Who else we got up in here, man? TJ Patterson, Broken Blade, Jamal Smith, all you guys. Hey, look, man, Urban Eagle. Big shout out to everybody in the chat room, man. So look, here's the thing. Big man, Swing Out Musum, Dallas. He said, checking in. Howdy, Uncle D mods in chat. Big shout out to all the chat. Big shout out to all the folks who have been supporting me over these years. I thank you guys and I appreciate it. Here's the thing, man. As you guys know, I took a breather, took a vacation, and why? Well, let me just be frank with you. It's not just the fact that this is my birthday month, but the thing is, when you get to the point when you realize what's really important in life, and that's family, that is your health, then you don't really have a problem, taking some time for yourself. Now, there was a time when I was a young man. Shout out to Cody Marshall. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. There was a time when I thought working all night and all day was a good thing. I used to, when I was a young lawyer, I would get to my law office at about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'd work to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would repeat the next day. And the reason I would do that is because I was trying to learn. I was trying to build. I was trying to get something. I was trying to get understanding. And I got to that point. But over the years, you begin to realize that the more important things, the real richness of life is associated with having time to spend with those that you love. So over the past, 10 days or so, I've been enjoying my time with my sons. I've been enjoying my time with my fiance. Somebody in the chat room said, when y'all get married? Why you care? You ain't coming to the goddamn, you ain't invited to the wedding. But either way, we'll get married in our time. We have a plan. We have a date set. And it's none of these folk business. But nevertheless, spending time with people that make you feel good, people that you enjoy being with. And sometimes those are not people that you are necessarily related to. Sometimes it's not your immediate family members. Sometimes it's people you meet, and it is what it is. So, what I'm trying to tell y'all is, man, take a lesson from me. Better yet, take a lesson from the late, great Kevin Samuels. In all his wisdom, you see, in all of his wisdom, it wasn't until he got into his early 50s that he began to, reach the point where, he was super successful. His time, was worth a lot of money and people were willing to pay that. And so I like to say, he caught his wave too late. He caught his stride too late. And so because of that, he had to get it while the getting is good, which is the hustler's creed. And, those of us who are, who come from that background, who understand, when it's time to get it, it's time to get it. But the man died of hypertension. And all he needed was a break. All he needed was somebody to say, hey, come on, chill out. The money will be there. You don't need to get it all right now. You're not going to miss your stride. It'll be there. Matter of fact, it's greater later. And just enjoy what you got, And so that's a lesson that all of us can learn. And what I'm talking to you guys about, and I know I'm Big shout out to everybody in the chat room. I think I just saw my man Simple Shit TV come through. Shout out to you for holding it down, baby. Keeping it popping. But you understand that. Well, let me say it like this. It's important in life for you to find balance. Okay. I'm a man, Your Excellency, sir. You put a lot into us. I personally appreciate it. Take all your time. Yeah, man. When I'm here, I give you everything I can. But when I finish these broadcasts, oftentimes it's late at night. It takes me a couple of hours to come down. Shout out to Salty Balls, too. That's one of my favorites. I actually miss you guys, though. And I was telling my fiance, I got to go home tonight. I miss these guys. I miss interacting with them. And so it's addictive talking to you guys, and it's camaraderie that we have here. It's not just some guy talking on the internet. It's me talking to some guys that really need to hear what I have to say right now. Big shout out to who else we got up in here? Travel Dazzle. What's up, Uncle D? Moses in Ohio here. That's right. I'm in Colombia every month. That's what's up. I've done found one. There you go. I'm proud of you, brother. Keep on getting the word. And that's kind of what we're gonna talk about tonight. Also, black men are waking up, and no one can stop it. And I know I misspelled "no" up there, but I did it for a reason, because I'm inferring that we're going into the age of Aquarius, the age of knowledge. And I don't do all that hocus pocus stuff, but sometimes I put words in there to trigger certain things. But one of the things we need to understand is that money is important, but money is not that important. Your peace of mind and happiness is the most important thing. Your freedom is the most important thing. Your health is the most important thing. Having loving and caring relationships with people that you invest in, people that you love, people that you care about, those are important. Getting away from toxic relationships, whoever it may be, that's important, because that takes away from your life. It adds stress to your life. To all these social media entrepreneurs and influence, they never show you that you're supposed to rest. They never talk about how you're supposed to get adequate sleep and eat well. You guys see, if you follow my Instagram pages, I don't know if you follow my Instagram pages. Some of you may follow. Shout out to my man Wayman Brown. Keep it up. Thank you so much, bro. You may follow my Facebook pages. But, the thing is, you see me spending a lot of time with my children. You see me spending a lot of time with my sons. Now, I will devote a couple hours in the evening to talking to you gentlemen, but my primary concern is making sure I raise my sons and they know that their father was there with them. Because, again, once that time is gone, it's gone. Now, some of you may not be, spending your time on the internet, but some of you may be all consumed with getting money, earning money, and you spending too much time away from your children. You work so much, you don't have time to enjoy your life. Your life's not happy. That's a problem. There's no balance there, and it's not just about doing the things they say you're supposed to do, like exercise, eat right and whatnot. Of course, that's in time for work and whatnot, but you also have to have just some time for yourself. Sometimes you just need some time, some quiet time by yourself, comfortable in your own space alone. And that is something that's so underrated, just having alone time with your own thoughts. Now, what's dangerous is people who can't stand to be by themselves. You got a problem with being by yourself and being alone. That is definitely a problem. So we're going to kind of chop it up a little bit about that. Shout out to Latin Splaining with Denise, Broken Blade. We appreciate your work, but yes, take time off when you need to. We'll be here. I know you will be. I know y'all be here, and if you're not, that's fine too. It means that my time with you is done and you guys have moved on, but they say that when the student is ready, the teacher will come. And so I'm just talking to you guys really about basic manhood stuff, benefit of my wisdom. I'm talking to you like I talk to my own sons. I'm giving you guys that, and I'm telling you it's okay what you're going through. You know, my good friend Kevin, he had some unreal expectations, and I would hear him. But you know, you said, you know, working 60 hours, and yeah, that might work for a young man, you know, but that's not gonna work for an older man. You see, you're gonna burn yourself out. You only got so much time in this world. And you want to begin to enjoy it. Cody Marshall said, being dead is bad for business. Right. Continue the part of your son's lives, continue to be blessed, and continue spreading the message. Enjoy your rest. Right. The thing about it is, you can work from home, you can work on the weekends. Some of you guys feel guilty about working all the time. You know, you feel guilty about taking a vacation. But trust me, if something happens to you, you'll be replaced quickly. No amount of money in the world is worth making your lifespan shorter. Okay. And all these different, you know, people with all these, shout out to Quiet Storm. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. He's a new member here. All these people telling you that, you know, you need to work, you need to work, you need to work. Yeah. But then what do you do once you get the money and all the people that you want to share it with are grown, or you've neglected them so long? Your wives and your girlfriends don't see you. I know plenty of football players. They can't keep a woman because they're gone all the time. My man Cerebral Inquirer said, King Barracuda, be free, black man, be free. Yeah. You know, life is about balance. Oftentimes we get caught up into this capitalistic system that tells us that you need to work, you know, and then travel when you get older. But what they don't tell you is that by the time you travel, by the time you get older and you're ready to retire, which is 67, right? You need a nap in the afternoon. So you really can't enjoy it. So you want to begin to find balance in your life. Don't overdo it, fellas. Even with exercise, some of you guys, you work out every day. You lift weights every day. And that's great. But when it becomes a job that you're doing, then recognize that's just another burden that you have to deal with. Okay. Original Man 50 said, you have to rest and enjoy life. Kevin Samuels was a workaholic, and so was Bruce Lee. Live to reach your stride. Yeah, see, what I'm saying is, and I want to be careful. I want you guys to understand what I'm saying. MC Recovery Relapse, brothers waking up in my circle, and some are on the fence in the matrix, and energy and manner, and the women and all over the place in the South as hell. Yeah. You know, and this incorporates the passport bros. This incorporates all the different things that we're doing here on the internet. Black men are beginning to change. Black men are waking up. We're becoming more conscious. You know, Shade Andrade said, glad to see you making time for the most important things in life. Salute on. Yeah, you know, like, okay, so let me say it like this. Balance. Let's talk about balance. So, education wise, me, your Uncle D. All right. So I got a bachelor's degree in biology. I wrote 3 books, which is an intellectual task, right? Definitely, because it takes a lot. Write, rewrite again. I got a master's degree in environmental and energy related law. I have a JD, Juris Doctorate. I actually worked on 2 PhDs at the same time, one in environmental molecular toxicology, another in environmental planning at Texas Southern University. I think my GPA was about a 3.7, 3.8. And I underwent that for about 3 or 4 years, and then I had to get back to practicing law. So clearly, I've exercised the brain muscle. The other thing you also see me, but that's not enough. The other thing you also see me doing is I lift weights avidly. And see, I've noticed over the years, you guys really can't see my true stature because I'm in this chair. But what you don't realize is that this chair is probably about 4 feet off the ground. So if we measured it, like I'm sitting 4 feet off, so I'm 5 feet off the ground, and So you don't see my true stature. Many of you guys don't see my true size. But if you go on the internet, you see I work out. So it's not just some smart guy. I'm also a physical guy. So I work the intellectual, the intelligence, and the physical. I'm deeply religious. I play with you guys a lot, but I always invoke the name of the Most High. You notice how when people give me credit for things, I give all my wisdom to the Most High. And that's what keeps me humble. You see, it keeps me humble because, the thing is, I can't take credit for this wisdom. The wisdom comes from the Most High. You see, and I don't, and as long as I'm willing to be corrected, then I can continue learning. So it's about balance. All right. You got the physical, you got the intellectual. I also practice jujitsu. Big ball. Shout out to Salty Balls, Deacon Salty Balls. He said, as there are three aspects of being. I missed this. I want y'all to know. I missed this. As there are three aspects of being: mind, body, and soul. 8 hours rest, 8 hours work, 8 hours recreation. As thine are elements of balance. Without it, you will cry about your past, fear thine future, and because of you, ignore the gift of the present. Praise God. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you so much, man. I missed that, man. Juji said, did you read the recent article in counties with more black doctors, black people live long? I can believe that. Yeah, because black people, I tell people all that all the time. I'm a black lawyer. Of course, I'm going to treat you better than the white lawyer. I got to, I empathize with you more. But, that's another conversation. But no, so you want to have balance, fellas. And I notice a lot of these guys on the internet, they don't really have balanced lives. They don't really have family. They don't really have children. So they can work, but that life is not sustainable. Okay. No different than when I tell you guys, yes, I definitely want you to travel. I definitely want you guys to be passport bros. I definitely want you guys to, if that means going out, seeing what the world has to offer, seeing what's available for you, making sure you know all your options before you commit. Yeah. And more importantly, it should be a relaxing thing. Now, the balance on that is you still got to work and you still got to set up roots. You can't just be some wanderlust traveling around the world all the time. And you definitely don't want to have a whole bunch of different women for the rest of your life. That's not going to give you a good outcome. What you need to do is figure out a healthy balance for yourselves. Figure out what it is I need to do. For instance, you younger guys, you should be working. You should work while you can. As a young man, you should put all the energy you can in mastering your craft. But you also need to figure out balance. You also need to have some time for yourself. Now, you don't want to waste your time, and you don't want to do things that take away from you, like alcohol, drugs. Why? Because, man, that does not, that's one of those leisure things that does not lead to an healthy outcome if you continue doing it. So you want to stay away from that. You want to limit that as much as possible. And then also it causes a lot of health issues and a lot of health complications. Again, I want to, and I'm bringing up the fact that, Kevin Samuels, because in 4 days, it'll be May 5th, and this will be the 1-year anniversary of his unfortunate passing. And for those of you guys who, aren't still stupid enough to subscribe to the conspiracy theories, you realize that the 50-something-year-old brother that we loved, Kevin Samuels, passed away because of, cardiovascular issues or hypertension, which is something that gets so many black men. And largely it has a lot to do with the man just didn't have time to tend to himself. He, of course, was a cancer survivor at a young age. And so, you're already compromised. You already have one of these life-threatening diseases, ailments. And so what you want to do, fellas, is, man, take it easy on yourself. Okay. The internet is always going to be here. Whether you make $3 million this month, $300,000 this year, or $400,000 this year, Yeah, the IRS is going to come in and take a big portion of it anyway. It ain't going to always be yours anyway, you know? So you want to begin to find happiness. Okay. You want to begin to find a balance through that happiness. So, you know, it's passport, travel, enjoy your life, go other places. See these other women, see these other things. Yeah. Talking about Jamie Foxx. And I actually think that's one of the things that made me say, let me go sit my big ass down. Jamie Foxx, man, looks like he's in great health, but he's almost 60 years old. And even though he looks like he's in great health and he looks young, Jamie Foxx is a 55-year-old man working hour day in, day out. See, these brothers who hit their stride later in life, they are compelled to work and work and work. And even though you feel good, right? You feel, because when you get my age, you still feel good. You still see the world as vividly as you did when you were 12. You still, your eyes still see. You still, on the inside, you still the same person, but on the outside, you look different. You know, okay? And your body is different. You know, you don't run as fast. You don't jump as high. And so you have to begin to take it easy on yourself. I want you, see, the best thing you can do is outlive your detractors. Live well and outlive your detractors. That's the biggest revenge, to outlive your enemies. Look at the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I believe he turned 90 this week. All right, 90 years old. So all those people who had these negative things to say about him back, they're all dead. And he's outlived his detractors. Salty Ball says, scales 2 and 4, one whole mustard seed of wisdom and truth will dearly and truly outweigh one Lizzo of stress upon thine back. Hark! Work not hard as one thunderous note from the trumpets of triumph. Ring louder than thine siren of a she-heathen. Praise God. Hallelujah. Praise Moses. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Oh, yeah, I do. I miss you guys, man. It's good fun to be in here. But like I'm saying, fellas, you know, you want to have balance. You know, you want to find balance. You want to realize what's important. You know, you want to recognize that it's about happiness. You know, if I can, let me give you guys a question, and I want to poll the chat room. Okay, I want you guys a serious question. It's a serious question, and y'all go, what the hell is Uncle Dion? I want you to type in the chat room, no more than 3 words. Well, let's say no more than 4 words. What makes you happy? I'm asking the question, what makes you happy? The reason I'm asking that question is because many of you don't even know what makes you happy. You have to understand yourself well enough and know yourself well enough to know what makes you happy before you can get there. I'm asking you guys, what makes you happy? Money? Is it money? Is it really money? To what end? Somebody said peace, health, progress, peace, quiet. Somebody said fulfillment, family, purpose, free time, sunlight, freedom, and peace. What makes you happy? I'm asking you guys this question. What makes you happy? All right. I'm going to ask you another question. Have you been at peace with yourself long enough that you know that peace that you have where, like a child, you don't want for anything. You know, you're at peace. Even if there's chaos going on around you, the cable bills due, the gas bill is due, you're still at peace. You see? See, there's a lot of rich people who are not at peace. So I know it's not money. And, you know, there's a lot of people who live in the sunlight. They're not at peace either. And even if you go to the comedy store, you can be laughing and you still got to go home to your existence. Here's what I want you to, where is your peace? What is it? And then let's analyze that. And I talk about this extensively in my books, Rules to live by, how to maintain peace of mind and happiness. What is it that's disturbing your peace? I'm asking you guys. Look, this is different tonight. Shout out to Wrench He's on the wood, brother. Hang in here for me. I want y'all to hear me. What is it that's disturbing your peace? Listen, hear me. You can pray to Jesus all you want, but until you know what's disturbing your peace, you can't ask him for peace because you can't verbalize what's disturbing your peace. And that goes the same for the Allah and all you other religions. You don't know yourself well enough to know what's disturbing your peace, or you won't admit it. Let me give you an example. I knew my whole life what was bothering me, at least when I became older. I was ashamed of the fact that I was named after a man who wasn't my biological father, and I wanted to find my biological father because I was ashamed of the fact that I didn't know, and I felt like I was living a lie, even though that had nothing to do with me. Wasn't my fault. The circumstances of my birth had nothing to do with me, but that bothered me. And so I was disturbed because of that. So no matter whether I had just settled a case for $750,000, whether I was riding around with nice cars and had all these beautiful women and alcohol and all these people around me, my peace was not there. So I would never have peace of mind and happiness, despite having all the trappings of success. Having the trappings of earthly or worldly success and having peace of mind and happiness are two different things. They're not even on the same spectrum. Are y'all ready for this tonight? Because we need to take it back down to earth. I don't know. This might be something that's, y'all might not be ready for this, man. Y'all want me to talk about something else. I can do that. But I think this is important. This is, as they say, the age of Aquarius. This is the age of knowledge. And you black men are beginning to wake up. This is a great awakening. And what I'm trying to explain to you fellas is, don't wake up with the same old visions of what success is. Success is peace of mind and happiness, period. When you have a peaceful spirit, that's success. Because many of you have money. Many of you have good looks. Many of you have great bodies and great shapes. I was that guy, but I didn't have peace of mind and happiness. So living in my body, living in my existence might as well have been like a prison. You see? You see how that works? So your existence, what is going on in your mind, what is disturbing your heart, causes for you to be troubled. So you have to ask yourself, what is it in me that's disturbing my peace of mind? Because see, before we can get to happiness, we need to talk about your peace of mind. You can't enjoy the sunshine. Brothers say he like going to the comedy show. The overall question here today is, what makes you happy? Great. You can't enjoy the happiness. You can't enjoy your peace of mind if you got that evil woman on your side. You got that job that's tormenting you. You got that father or that mother that you haven't reconciled with. You got that child that's sick and ill all the time or that hates you. You're not going to have happiness, brother, until you figure that out. Peace of mind is what Jesus Christ tried to teach us. I know I'm going too deep. Y'all want me to cut it out. The great Buddha, what did he say? Give away all your things and follow me. Right? That's what he did. He was a prince. And Jesus told the rich young man to do the same thing. He said, I can't do it. The reason that a rich man, it's easier for a rich man to get in, what they say, it's easier to take a camel through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get in heaven, because the rich man can't give up those things, because to him, success is the ultimate. Where in reality, the truth is peace of mind and happiness is the ultimate. See, we live in the United States. Shout out to all my people. And I love my country. I love the United States. But we got it all wrong. And the reason we have it all wrong is because we're a young country. We're a young country. We have ideals. We're going to have our growing pains. We're just a little over 200 years old, 250 years old, more or less at this point. A young country. And we still think in all, being all is getting money in a big house and all that sort of stuff. But what does it gain a man, a man who gains the world and loses his soul? You get all his money and you die. Where's your peace? Jamal Smith said, this talk is right on time, Uncle D. Yeah, I know it is, man. I feel y'all. Like, I really am in touch with you guys. I know what's on your mind. You're asking yourself, some of you, is this it? I got the 6-figure job. I got the 6-pack. I got the nice car. Is this it? I know because I've been there before. I know what you black men are going through. You've elevated. You've become successful. Many of you have reached the middle class. And you're starting to ask yourself, is this it? A football game on a Sunday? Every now and then I'll smash a fine chick, maybe drink, hang out with my friends. Is this it? And I'm telling you, there's something higher there. And you can distract yourself by taking on these big burdens like a lot of you blackity blacks. I'm going to go fight the white man. The white man is still going to be there after you dead. I'm going to go become CEO, vice president of my company. Great. You did that. Next thing you know, okay, great. Wonderful accomplishment for you. But you don't have peace of mind and happiness. It's a wonderful self-accomplishment, but it's just an accomplishment. It just means more money in the bank, bigger house, bigger cars. That's what it means. At a certain point, success is just superfluous. It's like having 1,000 pair of jeans, pants. How many are you going to really wear? I got clothes in my closet that still got the tags on them because I still wear the same things I always wear. What I'm comfortable in. And that's most of you guys. You'll wear nice stuff to impress other people. That Rolex watch probably make your wrist sweaty. Those diamond rings, they cut off the circulation to your fingers. That gold chain, you like it. The shirts, the nice shirts, expensive, kind of itchy. You much rather put on that T-shirt, that old T-shirt that's kind of beat up a little bit. It's stretched out a little bit. Right? My man Kevin Johnson said, because it's comfortable. It brings you peace. It doesn't stress you out. Kevin Johnson said, in the process of divorcing my wife after 7 years, the house is a little more quiet and the dog is a little lonely, but the cloud of tension is no longer there. That's what I'm talking about. Safe to say that I don't want to trade the peace ever again. I understand. Lord knows I understand. So again, what you just realized was this, brother. Your peace of mind and happiness is more important to you than accomplishing the things and the task that the world says you're supposed to do to be successful. In other words, in order to be successful in this world, by anybody's metric, you got to have some money. You got to be this physical. You got to look like Superman. You got to have a wife and kids, a BMW, Bentley, 6,000 square foot house, blah, blah, blah. And then when you get all that, then there's somebody else with more stuff. And then you got to try to chase them. So you're like a hamster on a hamster wheel, just constantly chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing. So you never get success. But the truth is you're headed in the wrong direction. You're really not going anywhere. Because success is not going to necessarily lead you to peace of mind and happiness. Yeah, you want to have your basic needs met, fellas. I'm not saying go out there and be homeless bums. That's definitely not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is figure out what it is that makes you happy and figure out what it is that brings you peace of mind and happiness. And then what you have to do is figure out what it is that's disturbing your peace of mind and happiness and then separate yourself from those things that are disturbing your peace of mind and happiness. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Blood, me say me under the blood. Under the blood, me say me under the blood. Jesus cover me under the blood. Under the blood, me say me under the blood. Jesus, you may cover me under the blood. In the morning when me wake up, and the blood that Jesus me take up. And when me feel like me, I go break up. Put the blood on me face just like a makeup. In the morning when me wake up, and the blood that Jesus me take up. And when me feel like me heart break up, put the blood on me face just like a makeup. Under the blood, under the blood, Jesus cover me. Jesus, you will cover me. Say under the blood, under the blood, Jesus, you will cover me. Jump on this. Listen. Christian a fight some things with them not see. So hold demons and principality. Remember they are the temple. Keep it holy, sanctify, justify, give God the glory. Fighting against three terrible enemy. The world, Satan and myself against me. Want the anointing, pour it on me and make me trample the devil on it. Say, under the blood, under the blood, under the blood, Jesus cover me. No! You want to hear it? Drum and bass. Drum and bass, listen. Christian a fight some, play low, let them hear me. Listen. The physical man can't fight no demon. Fasting and prayer fi build up the inner one. Well anointed convert the sinner man. Bind the demon, rip up Satan. How you pollute the land with pure corruption. A warfare time, this a revelation.
Welcome back to the broadcast. My man said his parrot was doing the cabbage patch to under the blood. Welcome back to the broadcast. This is Dennis Spurling, also known as the Blizzard King, also known as Uncle D. And what we like to do on this page is we like to give what I want for the men on this page is to be the best men they can be. I go a long way to defending men, especially black men, and be very specific with you. Black American men or foundational Black American men. Why? Because they don't have anyone who speaks up for them or teaches them how to speak up for themselves. And that does not mean that these conversations are not good for all men. It just means I focus on the brothers here in the United States because we don't have anybody. And I think as an attorney and as an older man, it's my responsibility to teach these young brothers how to, and it's also in my best interest to teach these young black men how to live their lives and be the best men they can be, physically fit, emotionally stable, spiritually attuned, good, hardworking, good citizens. That's what I want for these men. I want them to be financially astute and have their money, but I also want them to be balanced, and that's what we're talking about. My man Salty Ball said, be sure to support my Chismo TV, YouTube, First Black Men Overnight Content Channel, 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. Oh, yeah, y'all going to do good. Eastern Time, live and Simple Shit TV with civic discourse and healthy discussions. That's what I'm talking about, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm going to have to come through and crash the party one day. See what y'all doing over there. But, so here's the thing. My man earlier, he brought up a conversation about his ex-wife. He talked about how things are a little quieter. Okay. So as a man, the most important thing you can do as a man, aside from figuring out what it is the Most High wants you to do, is be a good father. Okay. But if you're not a good father, if you're coming up short, man, that's going to disturb you. But in order to be a good father, you got to know how to maintain your household. And that's something you bachelors should be learning and focusing on right now. You know, to keep your house clean, keep it tidy, keep all the bills paid. You get that part. But the difference between me and a lot of men, as we'll call them, the difference between me and a lot of the guys that you see, I run my house. And I have a plan. I run my business and I have a plan. And I run my life and I have a plan. Okay? And all three of those are successful in that they operate as a business, as a house, and as a life should. Okay? So somebody said, the real fix your title. I put the word no in there for a reason. Because never mind. You have to reread it again, brother. But if that's a little too advanced for you, then I'll change it at some point. But the bottom line is, family, I'm different than a lot of these guys. And I posted this up early. One of the reasons is a lot of these men are constantly negotiating with people, right? They're constantly compromising their peace of mind and happiness to appease people that they think they can't live without. Let me say that again. A lot of you guys are constantly negotiating with people to appease them. And in doing so, you are compromising your own peace of mind and happiness. You got a disrespectful woman, so you deal with her. Why? You saying you dealing with her because you're doing it for the kids. So you in the house, you don't have any peace. You hate coming home. You got a girlfriend, you think you love her. You got a baby mama, you think you love her. You think you can't do without her. You got kids that you love. You think you can't do without them. I get it. But your peace of mind and happiness is being disturbed, which means what? Your life is being shortened. You're one step closer to dying of hypertension because of stress. And stress kills, okay? Let's have no doubt about that, all right? Now, you cannot truly love yourself if you're putting someone else above your health. You understand? You don't have to negotiate with these people if it's beginning to destroy your peace of mind and happiness to the point that you don't feel comfortable in the places that you should feel comfortable, like your own home where you pay the bills. One of the reasons that I was compelled to work for myself is because I don't want anybody to determine when I can take a vacation, how much money I can get paid, what time I have to come to work. I wanted to have autonomy and control over my life. That is my peace of mind and happiness. Same thing goes for my house. I don't want any person or any animal in my home that disturbs my peace of mind and happiness. That is something, fellas. See, a lot of times your peace of mind and happiness is disturbed because you can't live the way you want to live because you're constantly negotiating with other people and compromising they always say, meet me in the middle, meet me in the middle. If the recipe calls for half a cup of sugar, and you get, if the recipe calls for a cup of sugar, and you give half a cup to somebody else, you don't have what you need to mix up what you need to eat. That's why compromise doesn't work. Sometimes you just got to say, no, I'm going to have it my way today. Maybe another day you can have it your way. Because if you constantly compromising your beliefs and your ideals with other people, you never get what you want in your life. Isn't that terrible? You might as well be a slave. It's better to be alone, fellas. It's better to be single than to be with a woman that destroys your peace of mind and happiness. It is better to go work for yourself than to work at a company or work at a place that is destroying your peace of mind and happiness and causing for your life to be shortened. Wake up and know what true success is. Wake up and know that you can stop it. You understand what I'm saying? As black men, we've been trained to be servants in this country. We've been trained to take low. We've been trained to be the kicking mules. All I'm telling you to do at this point is, hey, move out the way. They say they don't want us. They say they don't like us. I'm talking about the lovely ladies. Okay, well, we're going to go overseas. But those women don't want you either. Well, we're going to go see if they don't. Turns out they do. Turns out black American men are the most desirable men on the planet. Who knew? It's true. Google it. Nevertheless, we wouldn't know about that had it been not for other men who began traveling overseas saying, hey, my peace of mind and happiness is not here. I say this in my book. One of the rules to live by is you have to separate yourself from the persons, places, things, and circumstances that are undermining your peace of mind and happiness. A lot of brothers realize that being here in the United States undermines their peace of mind and happiness, their mere presence here. And I'm okay with that. And you should be okay with that. We are waking up. And we are realizing that the things that we've been told should make us happy aren't making us happy. A wife, 2 kids, a cat, and a dog living in Buckhead, Georgia, Prince County, Virginia, wherever that is, not making me happy. I might just want to sit on the beach somewhere in Colombia. I might want to move to Ghana and open up a store. You might want to drop yourself back in that African diasporic environment where everybody looks like you so you don't feel like the odd man out. That's your peace of mind and happiness. Me personally, I like going to the Dominican Republic. I like the heat. I like the people. I like the food. I love it. I don't need to go anywhere else. I'm good. This is good for me. But I also like spending time with my children, and I don't want to neglect them. That's why I'm here till they get to a point where they don't necessarily need me to be in their life every day. They don't need me to come to their jiu-jitsu tournaments. They don't need me to pick them up from school. They'll be big men. They'll be grown men. Then I can have peace of mind and happiness in the place where I want to be. Because forsaking my responsibilities for media is not going to allow me to have peace of mind and happiness because my children bring me peace. It's a balancing act. And here's the thing, fellas. What brings you peace now may not bring you peace in 10, 15 years. There was a time being single, man. I was great. Loved it. Absolutely wonderful. Fun times, right? But now, having a good woman on my side who cooks and cleans and is cooperative, my God, she doesn't disturb my peace. We get to build a life together. It's peaceful. It's nothing like it. I got a little cat and a dog. Didn't want that 15 years ago, right? It would have been a burden back then, but now it's not. So what brings you peace of mind and happiness may change. But here's the thing. As you black men begin to wake up, I want you to understand something. There are people who have a vested interest in keeping you asleep. There are people who have a vested interest in ensuring that you never find happiness, ensuring that you never find peace. They want to keep you here, and they definitely don't want you to spread the word that black men of all people can find peace of mind and happiness somewhere. They want you to keep you destitute because why? They keep you looking at them. They keep you looking at them for peace of mind and happiness. They give you information, they give you advice that benefits them. Well, you'll have peace of mind and happiness if you just work harder. Well, what does that do? It puts more money in the system. You'll have peace of mind and happiness if you settle down and get you a good wife. What does that do? That means I got to pay more money into the system, and now I got a woman that belongs to the state and some kids that I'm just going to tie me down here to the United States. Is that really, how does that benefit me? Taking on more responsibility. I want you to think about that, because there are a lot of people out there who give you advice that benefits them. I give you advice that benefits you. I don't ask you to follow any causes. I'm not here trying to get you to vote in a particular way other than vote your own interests. That's all I say. Be the best man you can be. Because I want you to have peace of mind and happiness. But there are a lot of people who do what? They tell you things, they lead you down these paths. Yeah, buy the next thing. Yeah, come sign up for my program. Come visit my new whatever institution. The government does it to you. The lovely ladies do it to you. I'm telling you, black men, you're a free man. You're free to figure out what it is that the Most High wants for you. And you're also free to find your peace of mind and happiness. But you're going to have to figure out what's disturbing your peace of mind and happiness. See, some of you is not a wife. Some of you is not like what I had to deal with, dealing with that conflicted feeling of not knowing who my real father was, that embarrassment, and then having to fix that. It's a hard thing. Some of you guys were inappropriately assaulted and touched when you were children. That bothers you. Some of you all felt neglected by your parents. Some of you all feel inadequate because of your upbringing. It's so much. Salty Ball said, chest 3. Thine she-heathen been bestowed with all-seeing eye, all-speaking tongue, as a steward to her master. Thine brethren departs from the temple of his home, and he's still at war, with no place of refuge, war on two fronts. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So just think about that, fellas. Figure out what it is that's disturbing you, and let's deal with that. What is it, fellas? And I can't see y'all names. What is it that bothers you? Give me some examples of some things. And this is how you know the thing that bothers you. You should be happy, but you're not, because you're thinking about that thing or that event that happened. Or it's something that triggers you. It brings you low when you're high, at your highest point, and it brings you even lower when you're at your lowest point. That's that thing. It causes for you to eat. It causes for you to smoke weed. It causes for you to drink excessively to try to numb the pain. It causes for you to go out and seek out distractions like, sex with a whole bunch of women. It's that thing that's disturbing your peace of mind and happiness. Usually you seek your vices to help mask that pain. Could be gambling, could be anything. Somebody said that broad that falsely accused you. Yeah, that disturbs you. It disturbs your reputation in your mind because you want to see yourself as a hero. You don't want to see yourself as a villain, right? My man 43TX said that broad. Yeah, I get it. And so now this woman is disturbing your self-image of you. You see, that's something that makes sense, okay? What else is disturbing you? Let's give some more examples, fellas. What is disturbing you? What is upsetting your peace of mind and happiness? Think about that. Somebody said, I puff a joint when I get home from work. That job got you puffing that joint. It's probably stressful up there. Huh? My man MC Recover, being accused of BS I didn't do. Yeah, being falsely accused. I get it. My man Randy Irvin said, working all the time and fighting at home. Society's definition of traditional manhood and modern. Yeah. So you don't have peace at work and you don't have peace at home. This is the problem. Your Excellency, sir. So I think it's the fact that I know and I'm all I got. Yeah. Knowing that you're the only one. That in itself. Most black men, you don't have anybody you can depend on. Think about it. False accusations and being ostracized. And you're probably ostracized because you don't comply with what the people around you want you to do. Sounds like you're surrounded by assholes. My man Passport X says, high-paying job that requires too many hours of doing nothing. Yeah, you feel unfulfilled. I get it. And so you have to begin to ask yourself, is this even worth it? It's disturbing my peace of mind. Yeah, I'm getting the money, but when do I ever get a chance to enjoy it? And do I really need that much money? You see? I'm asking you brothers to do some deep reflection at this point. Because see, it's only so long we can talk about what these lovely ladies are doing. Okay, it's only so long that we can focus on these lovely ladies. They're not going to change. Okay? They're not going to change. They're going to be the same ones that they always are. You're going to have to do some introspection, and you're going to have to become the men you need to become so that you can grow. Man, Jamal Smith said not being black enough. Yeah, people questioning your authenticity. Children not appreciating you. There's another one. You've sacrificed for your children and they don't show to appreciate. Yeah, you need to call them out on that. You literally need to say, hey, you all don't appreciate me. You don't show your appreciation in a language in which I can understand. Yes, you say, but my language of showing me you appreciate me is acts. Did you bring me some food? Did you bring me a gift? Did you say thank you, Dad? These sort of things. You need to speak up. And then you got it out because it disturbs you by not telling those children that they don't appreciate you. You might feel guilty. Somebody's probably told you, oh, you know, you should be happy. They try to shame you out of getting the justice that you deserve and your credit. I get it. I understand. But again, you say your piece, you get it out there, you let everybody know you don't hold back. But we're in the age of knowledge now, fellas. You're waking up. And as a person who is gently nudging you, I want you to wake up with the right mindset. Money is good, but it's not about money. How do I know? Because I've had it. Still got it. That's not going to change anything as far as what's going on up here and you and your own personal self. You need to figure it out, fellas, on your own. And nobody can write your story for you. And nobody can decipher your story for you as well as you can. Take the opportunity to get to know yourself. One of the best ways to do that is to begin to write. I'm going to say that again. One of the best ways to learn yourself is begin to write. Write from your first memory to your most recent memory, no matter how long it takes. Because what you'll begin to see is you'll begin to understand how you think. You'll see your patterns, your life. You'll see the things that keep triggering you over and over again. And you can begin to learn these lessons that you need to learn. Because until you begin to learn these lessons, you're going to keep repeating the same thing. You're going to keep going in that circular path. Journaling or keeping a memoir, I don't know, whatever you call it. Y'all bored? Let me know. This too deep? Y'all thought we was going to come up here and talk about these hoes or something like that? What's the point of that? Because even if they change, you haven't changed. Even if they change, you haven't changed, fellas. You have to change. You're the instrumentality of change in your life. You got one life. It's not a rehearsal either. You're going to look up like me and you're going to be on the cusp of being 50 years old. I thank God I'm healthy and hopefully I have another 20 or 30 years left, God willing. Like to have some more. But some of you can look back at years in which you wasted being unhappy, not being at peace. It could have been a bad relationship you were in. Could have been a horrible job. It could be trying to maintain a relationship with a family member, father, mother, brother, sister, uncle, whoever, that you shouldn't have been trying to maintain a relationship with because they disturb your peace of mind and happiness. But again, you allowed yourself to remain in that relationship. In other words, you put their feelings before your needs because you were doing what? Constantly negotiating with them because you thought you couldn't live without them. Well, you got to do this for your mama. That's your mama. You got to be, that's your mama, man. You got to. You constantly remember who your mama was. She might have changed now. Or that wife you try to stay with, or that baby mama you try to get along with, or that child that just don't like you for whatever reason. You can't change them. But you think that they're more important. So you constantly in their face, negotiating, going back and forth, trying to rehash, trying to get a better understanding of something that could have happened months or years ago. And there's no changing because some people you just can't negotiate with. Some people you're just not going to be able to come to an understanding with. And there's no need. It's better to realize that and move on so that you can have peace of mind and happiness. You got to come, peace of mind and happiness, you got to come to that conclusion. This is the age of knowledge, fellas. This is where we are. You got to separate yourself from the persons, places, things, and circumstances that interfere with your peace of mind and happiness. There are enough people out there who bought my books who understand exactly what I meant by that. They understand the rules to live by. Somebody type rules to live by in the chat room. And for those of you guys who haven't read my books and don't have a copy, you can get them on Amazon. I don't have any more hard copies. But there's a story about Jesus Christ. He went home to his hometown. What does the Bible say about that? A prophet is loved everywhere but his hometown. And that's where I get that rule from. Some people just not going to change for you. Some people, they never going to see you for who you are. They're just not. They're always going to see you as that little boy that peed in the bed. Used to speak with a lisp, or used to smack with, the food used to come out of his mouth when he spoke. MC Recovery. Came close to find the father side of my family. My little met her side, and man, she's been good. Okay, cool. My mother met her side. Okay. They're always going to see you as that ex-gangbanger, a drug dealer, a drug user. They're never going to let you escape your past. So what do? You move on. You move to another state, another city, another country. You do what you have to do to maintain your peace of mind and happiness. The woman that you passed through, the man that gave you life, that sparked life into that woman's womb, those are just the people that allowed you to enter into this universe. They're just the people that allowed you to enter into this existence. You are here because the Most High wants you to be here. And you have a destiny to fulfill. You're not here to be servants to those individuals. Shout out to Randy Irvin. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And once you realize that, you realize you're free. And your objective is to what? Find peace of mind and happiness. You can't be around people. You can't even get your blessings if you're around people that's disturbing you and provoking you to anger and violence and rage. That's going to end up in jail or in a body bag somewhere or in a morgue or in a hospital. Stressed out? Is it starting to, y'all starting to get this? I'm gonna open up the chat room. We're gonna let a few people in here to chop it up. I hope you know, you guys appreciate what we're doing here. I need you guys to also do something. YouTube is unsubscribing my subscribers for some weird reason. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel again. Even if you've already subscribed, go ahead and try to subscribe again. And what you're going to find is many of you are going to realize that you've been unsubscribed from the channel. That's terrible, but it is what it is. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel now. My man Jay Renard Leather said, too many men allow others to weaponize guilt over them. Once I saw that guilt means nothing once you let it go, I've never felt so much freedom. Yeah, and you know what another thing is? Not allowing them to speak to you. That's why all these smartphones have a block feature. Block them, and they can't get at you. And what you'll quickly realize, fellas, is you don't need them. They need you. I want you to hear me on this. When I said they're constantly negotiating with people that they think they can't live without, they need you. You don't need them. All right? They need you. You don't need them. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Hit the #1 button. The Crimson Cure, he said, hey, sweetie, Dennis Spurling in the chat. Hey, Crimson Cure, congratulations on your wedding. I heard you just got married. That's what I'm talking about. Big shout out to the Crimson Cure. As I'm so happy to hear that. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, a married woman right there. That's what I like. I like she talks to the ladies. That's great. Y'all join the chat room. Let's come on in. Let's have a conversation. Hit the #1 button. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. In the meantime, let's do this. Let's see. We'll run a quick commercial. We'll be right back.
It's such a great coincidence tonight. I happened to drive over and Mr. Dennis Spurling. I had a great privilege to meet him and his beautiful fiance. And I was familiar with him. I met him through a friend of mine, through my Facebook friend, Dr. Mark Smith. Oh, okay. That's how I met you. Okay. He shared one of your posts online, and I was interested in the reading, and that's when I started following you. You don't even know this. Yeah. And I was also a big fan of Kevin Samuels. After following Kevin, even though I was familiar with most of his teachings and advice to women and all that stuff, including to young men, I was able to meet such a great woman in my life within a short period of time, within adequate time. We were able to get to know each other and move forward. Had a great wedding. Oh, look at this. 9 months and a week.
He stopped me, and I went to a function a couple of weeks back, and he was my Uber driver, you know, and he said, I know you. I was like, how you know me, man? I owe you some money or something. But he said, no, I watch you. I watch Kevin say, I was like, that's pretty cool. But anyway, we got some fellas here in the bullpen. Let's get Cody Marshall. We got Trailer Park Willie in here, Mr. Allen. So here's the thing, Trailer Park Willie, Mr. Allen, Cody Marshall. What I'm telling you guys is not something that's uncommon, all right? When I look at the teachings of Buddha, and it says in Buddha's teachings, equanimity or peace of mind is achieved by detaching oneself from the cycle of craving and the produces. And that produces. In other words, what they're saying is it's desire to have and enter into relationships that you shouldn't be in, desires to keep jobs that you shouldn't have. These sort of desires, this sort of conflict in your mind disturbs your peace of mind and happiness. Now, anyway, this is, and when we look at Jesus, what did Jesus Christ, you know, all of the great religions speak to these very essential truths about the human condition. And what I want you men to understand is this. You're beginning to wake up. And of course, this page is dedicated to Black men, specifically Black American men, but all men can benefit from these conversations. Trailer Park Willie, what would you like to add to the conversation, sir?
Okay, is my mic working?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Go ahead, sir.
All right. I wanted to ask you, you mentioned at some point that you were raised in South Central LA. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct.
And you grew up there in the 90s?
I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and I left in around 1992, right after the LA riots, and I moved to Louisiana to go to school.
So could you like go into a history lesson about the Rodney King riots? I'm interested.
Well, I mean, that's not necessarily what we're talking about today, but basically there was a young girl named Latasha Harlins. See, in Los Angeles, and if you guys will, the question was asked. So the LAPD and the Black community had always had a relationship that wasn't good. For the most part, it was their job to keep us on one side of Central Avenue. And then we began to move over towards the west side. About every 20 years, there's a Watts riot or some sort of riot. This particular occasion, it had been building up. There was something called the Rampart scandal. Cops, I know guys were getting beat up by the police, shook down by the cops for no reason, kind of like what they were doing in LA. I mean, what they were doing in New York, where they just run up on random guys and pat them down. But unlike New York, there's a lot of guns in California, and there's a different mentality amongst people who are living in California. That's why you have the Black Panther Party.
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt, but can you explain what you mean by Central Avenue and the people being pushed back? Like what that means?
When there was a lot of Black people who moved to Los Angeles and left the South and moved to LA. They moved to Oakland, they moved to a lot of different cities. But the thing was, even though segregation was illegal, Black people were only allowed to live in certain parts of town. So if you were found in other parts of town, in the LAPD and the sheriff's office were notorious for hemming you up and making you feel unwanted. So there's always been animosity brewing. And this is 20, 30, 40 years in the making. And so every now and then, something would touch it off and it would explode. With the LA riots in particular, before the Rodney King verdict came down, there was a young woman named Natasha Harlins, and she was at a store. And shout out to my man Teddy Fresh. He said, "Man, what the F? Stay on topic. That's not what the show is about tonight." It's not, but you know, he asked the question, and I definitely want to. I think it's interesting. I might have touched on this before, but so we'll talk about it. But basically, that kind of put the community on edge. Then we saw Rodney King get beat up for 93 seconds, or he got hit 93 times or something like that by these LAPD officers. They moved the case out to Simi Valley, which is filled up with they got a whole bunch of retired cops out there. So they moved it out of LA County because for the most part, they would have got convicted, you know, I think. And then nevertheless, the verdict came down. People think that, people just came into the streets and exploded. But what actually happened was on Florence Avenue and Normandy Boulevard, that's A-Tray gangster neighborhood. That's an A-Tray gangster known territory. The police were out suppressing. They were trying to take offensive action to keep people from rioting. So they went to a particular neighborhood and they start putting people in headlocks, girls, beating them up. And so what that was, now you got the verdict that just happened. People were outside congregating. Here comes the LAPD, and they're just provoking people. So those same people walked from their neighborhood to the corner of Normandy and Florence, and they began to throw bricks and whatnot and bottles at cars that were passing by. And so the word spread around. The newspapers took it. There was a truck driver who was driving a tampon truck. Hispanic guy, they beat him up and ran him off. Then there was another guy, white guy, Reginald Denny. He was in his truck. Somebody hit his truck with a bottle. He then rolled his window down at this intersection and basically said, "Don't hit my truck with your bottle. And I'm like, that's probably was not the right decision. You got thousands of black people at an intersection. You're a white guy in a truck telling people not to hit people with your bottle. You should have kept going. Nevertheless, he reached his hand, and one of the guys from the community reached his hand in there, snatched him out, and then we saw that. And from that, the riot was just off. So that was, and I happen to know because I was on my way home from Manual Arts High School, and that's the route that I take. So I was right there when all that happened. Does that answer your question, Trailer Park Willie?
Yeah, and I'd like to follow up with, like, how do you think that relates to modern day experiences of black people, men especially, where they're kind of like seeing this situation where, like, Rodney King was beaten in the street, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna fix it, and then they're like, the next thing is George Floyd. And it's just repeating over and over again.
There's no fixing that. There's no fixing this. This country has racism interwoven into it. There's no fixing it. We're not going to change it. There's always going to be racism. And I want everybody to hear me on this. There's always going to be racism in the United States. It's not going to go anywhere because people are entitled to their belief. They're supposed to believe they're better than you. Everybody is supposed to believe I'm better than you. I'm better than the next guy. My group is better than your group. That is the nature of humanity. That is the nature of human beings. This is who we are as a species. This is why we have cycles. We build, and then we destroy. That's why they're still digging up civilizations from thousands of years ago. This is the nature of man. Man builds, and then destroys because our intelligence our intelligence outstrips our morality and our decency and our humanity. And so this is what the nature of man. And until we actually do what the Most High wants us to do, we're always going to be in this perpetual cycle of build, destroy. We're headed for another dark age soon. So racism is just one of those things where it's not going anywhere.
Well, where do we take it then if we're both different color skins and we're here now and we're saying, like, I see this and I understand this and I recognize it, and you see it and you recognize it, and maybe there's some way we can say, hey, look, what we don't need the powers that be to decide this for us. We can decide it ourselves, and we can say right now, like, hey, look, if I see you on the street, this is how I'm going to tell you I understand, what's going on, and you understand what's going on. And we could say, like, look, this is what's going on. Let's copy what Trump is saying or Biden is saying.
Well, again, let me say it like this, and I want to go on to Cody Marshall. Look, fences make good neighbors. We need to have boundaries. You understand? We like to pretend and say, oh, all people are the same. They're not. Black people are different from white people. White people are different from Hispanic people. Asian people are different from everybody else. Everybody's different, and that's okay. It's okay. You see what I mean? It's okay for them to be different. Okay, you know what? These people are better at this. Great, good for them. That's fine. Let them live and let them exist on this planet. Let them have their space. Fine. This is it. This is where we are. This is who we are as a species. We are violent. We are disrespectful to each other. We lack morality. We don't follow instructions. We're rebellious. This is who we are as a species. We are not the best neighbors. If you don't believe me, ask the animals. You see, this is who we are. But nevertheless, as far as human beings, that's why we have laws. We have laws in place to say what you can and what you can't do, which regulate human activity and human behavior. The problem is you have some people who feel as though they have more privileges to do this and do that and the other because of society tells them that you have a higher social status because of the amount of money you make, the color of your skin, your religion, your ethnicity, and all these different things. But again, any reason is sufficient for a tyrant. There's always going to be racism. If there was no racism, if everybody on this planet was the same color and you had brown-eyed people and blue-eyed people, there would be enough differences between the brown-eyed people and the blue-eyed people that they would wage war against each other. because that is the nature of human beings, period. But look, Trailer Park Willie, we kind of getting off track a little bit. We're talking about peace of mind and happiness and waking up and those sort of things. But just hang in there for a minute. Cody Marshall, welcome to the broadcast, sir. What else would you like to add to the conversation?
Just the other day, I was chilling with a friend of mine. He's a vendor, and I saw a lady cursing this man out as they met up with their child, right? And just cursing this man out, just calling him all types of bees and I'm like, and I said, and he got to tolerate that? My goodness. I mean, you're right. You know, as I said earlier, being dead is bad for business, and your health is your wealth, and that's very important because, I mean, look at what's going on. Everybody's on edge. Everybody's like, snapping.
Right.
You know,
you got to separate yourself. Like, here's what I'm saying. And this is kind of the thing. Like I just told Trailer Park Willie, you're always going to have racism in America. It's part of the thing. It's part of what, look, it's part of what drives America forward. The inner competition, the intra competition that we have between groups. You can get your butt kicked if you got a Cleveland jersey on and you're somewhere in Pittsburgh. You see what I'm saying? This is who we are. We're, as I said earlier, it's a young country. This is who we are. And racism is just part of it. If you're tired of it, and there are studies that demonstrate that racism and these sort of things mess with Black people's health, causes unnecessary stress, hypertension, all those, you got to go somewhere where that's not happening. Yes. Whether that's in the Caribbean, where you're surrounded by the Black people, whether that's in Africa, wherever you're going, or places where it's not as bad. There's some European countries you can go to where, you know, you got the gypsy community, and so everybody's kind of brown and they're kind of used to it. So there are other places that you can go that you're not so stressed out. All I'm asking you guys to do is first begin to recognize what's undermining your peace of mind and happiness. And typically it's something more specific than just, you know, racism in general. That's like the wind and the water. That's like saying the storm is stressing me out. That's just part of what we deal with here. That's part of the climate. My man, the Black God Monolith said, deep history, more than I ever knew. Thanks. Oh, thank you so much. And I appreciate the super chat. My man, Mr. Allen, brother, always good to have you in here. What would you like to add to the conversation?
Salute, sir. Salute to the chat. Salute to the panel. I'm gonna be brief, and I'm getting off. But I can say, as a younger man, I know damn well I've given my mama, as a contractor, $10,000 at least 10 times, not all at once. Bits, pieces, 100, 3,000, 500, a whole stack, 2 or 3, whatever.
Yeah.
None of that was ever appreciated. None of that was ever. I never really got a thank you for that. It was that'll do for now kind of attitude. So if the entitlement bothers you, her entitled attitude bothers you, and it disturbs your peace of mind, it interferes with your ability to have a relationship with her, you should speak about that. You should say something about it and then be done with it. And you should say it and mean it and not hold your tongue. You see what I'm saying? That because I'm telling you, unless you deal with these things that are disturbing your peace of mind and happiness, you're not going to be able to, you're not going to be right. I mean, that's just my thought, because it may seem, let me tell you another problem. You tell other people this and they try to make it seem, well, it's not that big of a deal, blah, blah. That's your mama. Like, that's just going to wipe everything clean like Windex. You see what I mean? And it doesn't fix anything, because your pain and your experiences in life is relative. What do I mean by that? There's a baby who has a splinter in his finger right now, and he's crying like hell. And then there's a soldier somewhere in Afghanistan with half a leg and he's bleeding out. Okay, to that baby, that splinter means a lot. But to that soldier, when we look at it objectively, well, clearly, this man who's missing half a leg has the right to scream and holler more than that baby. But it's all relative. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to tell you, brother, is just,
you got to deal with it, because that's your burden, and you need to go ahead and fix that so that you can be released and have peace of mind, happiness. Not saying you're gonna fix it, but you need to talk about it. And look, if it doesn't work out, now you say, okay, well, she's not gonna change, I'm not gonna change, so it's time for me to move on. But go ahead, and then we're gonna go to DMR.
I did say something about it, and actually I got over it.
Good.
The point I wanted to make is the fact that I think a lot of us have issues with actually bringing those issues up to our mothers. That's where a lot of us get messed up at. You're afraid to speak on it because, again, they're the sacred cow of the community,
Queen
and
Mother Goddess,
you can't talk about them. You can't say nothing about them, and as soon as you do, you're the bad guy.
In this society that we live in most Western societies, the woman can do no wrong. She can divorce you and take your kids and hit you up with child. She could have been cheating with the guy down the street, had a baby by the guy down the street, and your dumb butts got to pay for it because it was born during the marriage. This is what our society has done. And so, because why? Because the government doesn't give a crap about men in general. You're a utility to be used. DMR, welcome to the conversation. We are talking about black men waking up, and I want you guys to wake up with the right things on your mind. Getting rich is not going to save you. Okay, it's great to have money, it's great to have resources, but that's not it. You got to figure out what it is that you need to be happy, peace of mind and happiness. That's where I'm coming from. DMR, what would you like to add to this conversation?
Well, okay, Brother D, how you doing, panel?
I'm good, sir.
What makes me happy is traveling overseas, getting out the matrix. That's what made me happy.
Right.
I'm a single man. I'm 51 years old. A lot of stuff, Brother D, that you said, man, I experienced it. I don't have no children. It's funny that you say everything that you say relates to me in some way, and I'm like, wow. But what makes me happy is I can fly out this country, man. Now I can't do it to the extent of 6 months or a month, but at least 1 week, man, I get to get out this country and free my head. You know what I'm saying? From the racism, from the self-hatred, from the gunshots. I mean, it's a stress reliever. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say, man, Brother D, thank you very much, brother. You like the onlyest cat that be speaking about this stuff, man. And it's a blessing, you know what I mean?
Well, thank you. All praises to the Most High. The truth is, I simply open up the forum and I let you men speak.
Right.
See, that's all I'm really doing is I understand your experience because it's part of the human experience. And anybody that truly wanted, it doesn't matter what color they are, if they truly wanted to understand, or sex, if they truly wanted to understand the human condition and place themselves into the minds of what the typical Black American male deals with, then they would. Our Black American women should be the first in line to do that, but they're not. You see, they're not because they don't want to, because they don't have to, because they get trinkets and breadcrumbs from the table of white supremacy racism to keep things how it is right now. You see what I mean?
Hey, Dennis, can I ask?
I got some other guys I want to get in here. But
yeah, I just want to ask DMR a quick question about his experience.
Hold on a minute. We're gonna open it up. We're gonna open it up in a minute. I want to get Too Much and then Original Man 50. We let everybody get a round in and then we'll open it up. But thank you so much, DMR. Appreciate you. Too Much. What would you like to add to the conversation? You got to unmute yourself. Let me see here. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Too Much. Original 50, Original Man 50, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right, go ahead and just go ahead and add on. We'll see if we can get Too Much to get his sound right. Go ahead. What would you like to add to the conversation?
Yeah, well, I've been on sick leave from my job for over a year, and when I look at it in perspective, it's more like a blessing in disguise, because for the first time in a while, I've never felt so much peace, because I was working 16-hour day tours, and then you worry about whether or not you're going to come back home the same way you left, because it's that dangerous, I'm on my financial stride, making a decent living, You know, the only thing that sucks is, you know, I have curfew. So because I'm on sick leave, I have limited time to be outside and be in my house, you know, before I get home visits, just
Right.
to check on my welfare. But I mean, like, you know, it can be very stressful because I mean, comrades from my job have passed away prematurely because of the stress. Some of them haven't
Yeah.
even lived to see retirement.
You know, and here's the thing. Last year on the 5th of May, Kevin Samuels passed away.
Yeah,
and
I
soon
remember.
thereafter, his diagnosis was what? Hypertension.
Hypertension.
You got a 55-year-old black man that passes away from hypertension. That is not uncommon.
It's
You
not.
see, you're stressed out, you're overworked, you don't take care of yourselves, you don't have balance in your lives. You see what I mean? We develop these vices to cope: alcohol, sex, drugs, overeating.
I'm not a youngster either, you know.
Right,
I'm 53 in a couple of weeks, you know. If I didn't have
73? Wow, you look great. You look great for 70. You say 73?
No, I'll be 53.
Oh, 53.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, good. But my whole point is, man, you gotta find balance. It's not just about working yourself to death. It's not about accumulating a whole bunch of money so you can buy a house. To what end? What's the point of doing all that? You see what I mean?
To enjoy it.
You won't live somebody else.
I worked 16 hours and I didn't get to enjoy all the money because all I was doing was working.
There you go. Shout out to Hezekiah Coleman.
I was overweight, you know. I've lost a little over 50 pounds and counting, you know. I mean, I had to make some changes, you know.
So let's try to work on finding balance. Too much. Are you able to speak yet?
Yeah, can you guys hear me now?
We can hear you, sir. Go ahead. What would you like to add to the conversation?
Perfect. First of all, shout out to you, Uncle D, man. I try to catch your show whenever I can. I'm one of those guys that work like 10, 12 hours, 7 days a week. I do get to, when I am most happy is when I'm out the country. I spend 3 months out the country I've been spending 3 months out the country for the last 5 years. The problem is when I'm here in the States, I don't really enjoy myself here, man. I'm working, man. I'm trying to, I'm actually trying to get a more remote job. So I'm studying coding right now, Python and things like that, just so I can, get more time overseas and get more peace and get more stress off of me. But man, when I'm here, man, I'm just focused. I watch my podcast. I'm in my zone. I'm stacking money. I'm one of those guys who have a wife that's overseas, who's stuck over there, as I'm trying to bring her over here because of the backlog of COVID.
Man, keep over there, man. Hey, what country is she in? What country is she in? Kenya. Go over there, man. Go to Kenya and take your American money and your American benefits and go to Kenya. You know what I mean?
Man,
because
it's lovely out there, man. It's great, man. It's peaceful.
I've heard,
man. The food is amazing. So I mean, and it's just like I said, no stress.
Yeah, and the thing is, man, here's the thing. And as I say in my books, one of the rules is you have to separate yourself from the persons, places, and things that interfere with your peace of mind and happiness. Trailer Park Willie brought up something earlier. In the last chapter of my first book, I explained how after the LA riots, after I realized that after I got accepted to go to college, I still had a summer to do in South Central LA in 1992. Okay, riots, what do they call it? Peace treaty be damned. I was still getting shot at, okay? People were still pulling pistols on me. You see what I'm saying? Because hell is not a respecter of persons. In other words, if you are living in a war zone, if you're living in hell, you're going to get burned. And so you literally got to get out of there. Everybody in this chat room, all you brothers, they're more likely than not, you're going to experience microaggressions and micro racism, no matter, even if you don't get the police pulling up behind you with the bullshit. And even if you don't you're going to get the microaggressions, the side looks when you get on the elevator, when you're walking down the street, people looking at you like you're a criminal or a thug. Either you're going to laugh or cry about it. But the bottom line, you're going to deal with it. In a place like Kenya, too much, where you look like everybody else, they might be looking at you sideways, but it's not because of the color of your skin. You see what I mean? You don't feel like you're under a microscope. That's the same way I feel when I go overseas to the DR and other places. Trailer Park Willie, Cody Marshall, Mr. Allen, DMR, Original Man 50, Too Much, We are open. The chat room is open. I'm gonna take a quick commercial, and we will be right back. And we're gonna open up the floor, and everybody, we're just gonna chop it up, man. Let's do that. All right. But in the meantime, hold on. Let's bless the sanctuary for a minute. Hold on.
There you go. I like that clap. Woo! Not bad to be light skin, huh?
All right, welcome back. We got somebody else in the chat room, but I can barely see. All right, so the floor is open, man, guys. We're talking generally about peace of mind and happiness. We're generally talking about Black men waking up and realizing that you basically been lied to. All men have been lied to. You know what they told you? They said, go to college, go get a trade, get you a beautiful wife, and have two kids in the house, and you'll be happy. You know what I mean?
All right, Dennis. I'm gonna hit back at DMR with a positive question. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead, man. The floor is open.
Yeah. All right, DMR was talking about his lived experience and how he goes abroad and he has a different experience. And I thought that was important to get that, him to explain more about his experience, because I wanted to know for sure, like, what's the experience of modern day guys that are Black and American and going abroad, and it's like totally different over there, and that's what he's saying, and it's like maybe he could expound on that.
All right. Well, my experience for myself as an African American man from the United States, I've been traveling abroad before. I started traveling back in 2001. I was married to a Moroccan woman back in 2001. That's when I experienced the difference. Like, I used to always hear people talk about Africa, whether it's North Africa, East Africa, West Africa. That's not the case. So I had to start traveling. So I'm seeing these things. Okay. But to come to your point, as an African American man, for me, when I get on that airplane and I go somewhere else, it clears my head. Okay. I'm experiencing culture. I'm experiencing different foods. I'm experiencing everything and I'm happy. When I came, before I left Santo Domingo last year, I was in my Airbnb crying. I was literally crying, man. I was crying. A grown man, 50 years old.
I get it. Yeah.
And it's because, I'm sure DR got his issues, man, and all that. I'm a traveler. I understand all that. But I'm not even focused on all that. I'm focused on I can go somewhere and just clear my head, man. And Trevor Point, I don't know if you can relate to that, but I know everybody on this panel can.
Yeah.
I know they can. So I'm just saying, man, for me as an African American man from the United States, the experiences that I've had going outside of the country is great. I'm from the United States. I live here. It's my home. Okay. There's some good stuff about America, but also it's some bad stuff about America. So I hope that answers your question, sir.
Yeah, just a follow-up question.
What is your response? Go ahead, Trey Park. Go ahead.
Just a follow-up question. Like, what is the difference? Like, do you feel like everybody's trying to kill you here, and then you go there and nobody's trying to kill you, or is it like everybody's judging you here, or what's the difference between?
Let me interject here. So, when I was a young boy, you brought up South Central, so I'm gonna keep bringing it up. When I would go away after I got grown, and I would go away to college, I felt free. I'm in North Louisiana. We got trees, bushes, squirrels, chipmunks, no helicopters flying over at night. When I would get on that plane and I would go back to Los Angeles, flying to LAX, back then we took cabs. For you guys who don't remember cabs, I would take a cab and, so I'll be, leaving the airport, heading down Century Boulevard. Okay, so I'm crossing, was it La Cienega and then La Brea, Shit, by the time I got to Crenshaw, I'm reading the gang writing on the wall. I'm trying to figure out who's beefing with who. I'm looking over. I'm not making eye contact with anybody. It's almost like re-entering into a war zone after coming home from leave. There's a possibility that you could get shot. There's a possibility, you know that you're in danger. Your spider sense is going off. You see what I mean? So it's a constant tightness that you feel. It's a constant on threat. Your stress level is raised up. You don't want to get shot. You know what to do. The best you can do to avoid getting shot, avoid being harassed. Because see, it's not just worried about the police. You're also worried about other black men. You're worried about Mexicans. Hell, you might have a confrontation at the liquor store or grocery store with the Arab clerks. It's conflict everywhere because everybody is in a stress bubble. So that's what he's trying to relate to you. It used to be I could go somewhere else in America and not feel like that. But now I feel like that everywhere I go. No matter where I go, there's a George Floyd happening. No matter where I go, when I see the police, whether I'm a lawyer or engineer, or whatever, I'm still having that tight feeling. See, that's the experience that black women don't understand, and nobody else in America seems to understand. And this is why we hate this. In Trailer Park, I know you're here, you're trying to figure this shit out, and I appreciate it. You know, you seem sincere, and I'm gonna take you at your word. You want these questions. What I need you to do is go tell white people and everybody else to stop putting black women up on these TV shows and allowing them to speak for us. They don't speak for us because they don't have the same experiences we do. Exactly. Only black men can speak for other black men. And I'm not talking about black men who are fruity, who've just given up their manhood and just said, I'm gonna just go gay so that nobody thinks I'm a threat. I'm talking about regular guys, regular black men who are doing nothing more than living their lives. We always feel under siege. And I'm telling you that as an attorney who's a grown man. My biggest fear is giving my son car keys. Okay? My biggest fear is him getting a driver's license because he may not react the way I need him to react when the police pull him over. Or he might pick up the wrong kid and that wrong kid might take. This is my biggest fear. You see what I'm saying? So let me get a couple more guys in here, Trailer. But Trailer, go. We'll get you back in a minute. Milan on the move. What would you like to add to the conversation, sir? You got to unmute yourself, sir.
Just sitting here listening to you guys, man.
Okay. Well, cool. It's good having you. What would you like to add to the conversation?
Man. Well, I would say this. I'm in a position to where I'm working with guys like is it Trailer Park Willie?
Yeah.
And
that's not his real name, but that's his call sign. Go ahead.
Yeah. Nah, man.
God damn it. Go ahead.
But yes, sir. Much respect to the panel and like much respect to you, sir. I've been watching you for a while and I always just kind of chime in, but I'm sitting here right now. Man, I'm on a thing right now to where I am I'm all right. So I pretty much I'm in a position to where like I'm in a trade at an older age. I'm 43 years old. And so like I experienced.
You're a young man, brother. You're a young man. 43. Well, I'd take 43 again. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, then all right. But you know, like I'm just like trying to prove myself to everything. And it's like everything that you talk about, sir, is like everything that I'm going through. It's like I try to be the best black man that I possibly can. And it's like I always get shitted on.
Yeah.
I get shitted on, but I don't take it.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead and get it out. And I'm because I know a lot of people are feeling this way. Go ahead.
All right. But like I don't take it, right? So what I do is I drive 200 miles back and forth to my jobs and all that kind of stuff, working in different states. And I'm just trying to be the most positive person I can. But I always look at it because I'm in a trade. I'm in an actual trade. I couldn't get back in the trade when I was 20. Had I done it, I would have been there. But I felt that, you know, the trades and all that kind of stuff were locked up to where maybe a person like me couldn't get in. You know, they had Billy Joe and James and the uncles and aunts and all kind of stuff that got in the trades. I got in late.
Yeah.
Right. So now I'm having to do things right now with inside my trade. And man, it's like I'm trying to make sense, but right now I'm being like I'm on your show. I'm trying to make sense, man. But it's just that
I think I understand what you're saying. You know, black men especially have had to wear a mask since the first one of us was taken off a boat. We always had to seem non-threatening. We had to laugh when we wasn't happy. You know, when we had to dance, we ain't feel like dancing, just to survive. And so you got to wear your mask. You got to play the game. I get it. You're living in that dual reality. But the thing is, hopefully there's an end goal. Hopefully there's a light at the end of the tunnel here. You realize clearly, I don't want to work with these folks for the rest of my life. So you need to master that trade and move forward and hopefully get your own business or your own source of income so you can have more control over your destiny. But before, hold on, we got to get D Money. What are you rolling right now? I saw that. I seen it.
Yeah, you know, I'm out here in Santa
Monica. I'm looking at you right now. I saw what you was doing. You was trying to sneak one in on us. Right, either way, what would you like to add to the conversation, D Money Smoke Room?
First of all, shout out to you brothers. How y'all
Thank
doing?
You. Some praise Moses. Right. Hallelujah.
Hey, I'm coming live from Santa Marta, Colombia. Hola. Hola. Right. But it's funny. I just when I clicked it on to you, because I listen to you all the time. You clicked in on something right when I joined the panel. Right when I joined, you said, "Stop, please, my man Trailer Park Willie. Please tell my fellow Caucasian brothers from different mothers, stop having black women talk for us, please."
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's annoying.
CNN, MSNBC, all these channels, they love to put the lovely ladies up to speak on our behalf as though they can explain, number one, what it's like to be a man, number two, what it's like to be a black man. They can't, and they're never going to say it in a way that needs to be said, because if they begin to explain our experience, then they got to explain all the BS that they put us through. But go ahead, the versus the experience. But go ahead, D Money.
And then if they do get a quote black male on, you know he's fruity as the fruit section of Jewel's food store. You feel me? So we already know he got more sugar in his tank. You're gonna have something with that clown that they always have on The View, Billy something Porter or something, whatever.
Yeah.
You're gonna have always something like that.
Yeah.
Speaking for black men. Come on, man. They gotta quit this shit. And to my brother who just spoke, man, just stay strong. Everybody go through their trials. Hell, I got a late start. You know, I college degree, but different path. I'm now in Colombia doing a whole different thing than when I got my degree. And I'm now in a forex trader and finance business. And I used to be a criminal defense investigator. So that's a big difference. So you know,
my first job, let me tell you, I had a JD, a Juris Doctor, bachelor's degree, and an LLM from Tulane, which is a very prominent university.
Yeah.
New Orleans. My first job I got it through this company called Labor Ready. You guys know what Labor Ready is?
Yeah, I work for Labor Ready.
I got a job through Labor Ready at this company. They were looking for a legal secretary paying $10 an hour with a perfect score on a bar examination, a law license, 2 law degrees, and a bachelor's degree in biology. I took that job paying $10 an hour. I didn't even have an office.
Bro,
I took that job paying, listen to me, I took that job paying $10 an hour, and I learned everything those folks had to teach me. And it just so happened that they were a personal injury law firm. So I learned everything they had to teach me. They liked my work so well, they hired me back. And 3 years later, I went off on my own. So you gotta look, man, you got the opportunity. See, the great thing about America is America will present you with an opportunity. You see, there's no American out there They can't say they didn't have an opportunity. You want to go, no opportunity, go to Belize. Go look at what they're dealing with in some of these countries. They have no opportunities. We get free education. They'll give you food most of the time. You can get a check. You see what I'm saying? My whole point is this, man. Just use the opportunity to get to where you want. There's money to be made in this country. That doesn't mean you got to stay here for the rest of your life. Go to Colombia. Go to these different places. Enjoy them. Have an out plan. Because if you realize, look, I tell you guys this all the time. A stolen people on a stolen land will never have peace. And you realizing that. And that's why I'm saying you guys are waking up to this game. Look, Trailer Park Willie, he got his own shit to deal with. We got some Hispanic dudes, they got their own stuff to deal with. And they're gonna have to deal with it in their own way. But you guys, I understand.
Dennis, I want to respond to D Money.
Hold on a minute. Trailer Park Willie, hold on.
Okay.
I'm trying to wrap this thing up. Baby, I just came from vacation. I'm tired now. Trailer Park. Like I'm vacation from the vacation. You have to wake up and realize that your niche and the places that you're gonna go are gonna be unique. Going to Jamaica and hanging out with doing what the black girls, black women, that's not gonna make you happy. Getting a job, working in somebody's company in HR is not gonna make you happy. That might make the lovely ladies happy. You see what I'm saying? You got to find your own space. And the great thing about it is, now that you know you have to, you'll do it. I want you guys to have peace of mind and happiness. I want you to find peace. I want your health to be good. I don't want you to be stressed out. I know what it's like living in America. And I'm telling you as an attorney, it don't get no better. I'm sure you know the billionaire brother, Robert Gates. His black ass is feeling the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? He's a billionaire. Look at LeBron James. They wrote the N-word on the front of his goddamn door, in his place over in Brentwood, California. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is it's not just you. And money is not going to escape. There's some brothers who are cool with it. All right? You cool with it, you cool with it. Wherever your happiness is. But look, it's one, we got to go. I'm going to give a shout out to Cody Marshall, Mr. Allen, DMR, Original Man 50. Your excellent third man, I miss you, man, but we got to get up out of here. Trailer Park Willie, D Money, the Smoke Room down in Columbia, Milam on the Move, and Too Much. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. It's been an honor to talk to you guys, and I'm humbled by your words, you guys, but remember, all praises go to the Most High, man. Give all the praise to God. Get your spirituality together, whether you're Christian, Muslim, whatever you are. I'm a Southern Baptist, and I'm going to die a Southern Baptist. But other than that, man, I thank you guys. And we're going to go out with a little special something for y'all tonight. This is Uncle D, and I'm out.
Dill, 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 another sound get killed. Duck a dill, dill, dill. Sign on the will. Duck a dill, dill, dill. Another sound get killed. Duck a dill, dill, dill. Sign on the will. Them one tie. Come on, them.